Hi everyone. Today we will discuss voice. Voice is a topic which is studied under the topic of transformation. It is a very important topic for the students and for the learners who want to make their speech effective. First of all, we are going to discuss the definition of voice. Voice is a verb form that shows the prominence of subject or object. Subject or agent is the part of sentence about which we say something in the given sentence. And object. Object is the part of sentence on which the action is transferred or pass over. To identify object, there is a very simple trick. If any part of sentence gives the answer what or whom after not making a rainbow structure, that is definitely an object. Kinds of voice. There are two kinds of voice. First one active voice and next one passive voice. The definition of active voice is if the subject is prominent, it is active voice. Prominent means important. If in a sentence subject is given priority or importance, it is active voice. Like Ram is swimming. Here Ram is important for us, that's why we have written it in the starting. So the sentence contains active voice. Passive voice definition. If the object is important, it is passive voice. So there is a slightest difference between active and passive voice. If the subject is important, in that condition it is active voice, and if the object is important, in that condition it is passive voice. For example, the bird was killed yesterday. Here the importance has been given to the bird, that is the object of active subject. So it is the affected, and if affected is important in that condition, that is passive voice. Rules to transform sentences from active voice to passive voice. Interchange subject and object. First rule. Remember, we can change an active voice sentence into passive voice if it contains object. Though there are some exceptions of this rule, but first we have to interchange subject and object. Means in this slot of subject we have to put object, and in the slot of object we have to put subject. Second rule, use be plus third form, that is known as past participle. After interchanging subject and object, we have to use be plus third form according to the structure of the sentence. There are 8 verb forms of be. Present forms are is am are. Past form of be are was and were. Base form is be. Third form of be is been, and ing form is being. To identify any sentence whether it contains active voice or passive voice, there is a very simple method. If there is be plus third form in a sentence, that is passive voice. There is be plus third form in verb phrase, that is passive voice. Third rule: use objective case of the subject after a preposition. First rule: interchange subject and object. Second, use be plus third form. And third rule is use objective case of subject after a preposition. Means we have to put the subject of passive voice in the end of the sentence. On the slot of object, changes in verb forms. So here we study how the verbs are changed. So first form of verb is changed into ismr. Base form plus s or es is changed into ismr. Do or does is also changed into ismr. If there is simple present tense helping verb, we change that into the helping verbs of present continuous tense. So if there is simple present tense, we change it into present continuous tense. Ismr is changed into ismr plus being. Has have is changed into has have plus been. Has been or have been is changed into has been or have been plus being. Generally, we do not change has been or have been into passive voice, and it is also not asked in the examination. But according to a great grammarian, Michael Swan, he mentions in his book Practical Usage of English that we can change the active voice sentence of present perfect continuous tense using being. It has been mentioned on page number 458. Second form is changed into was were, and did is changed into was were. If there is simple past tense in active voice sentence, we change the verbs of that tense into was or were. So if there is simple past tense, we change that into past continuous tense. Next one is was or were. Was and were are changed into was, were plus being. If there is past continuous tense, use plus being. Had is changed into had been, and had been is changed into had been plus being. Again, had been is the helping verb of past perfect continuous tense, and in examination or in general life we do not use such kind of structures in passive voice because these are weighty structures. But authentically we can use these structures into passive voice. So remember here, simple past in past continuous plus being, and past perfect plus been. Next tense is future tense. Shall will is changed into shall be or will be. Shall have or will have are changed into shall have been or will have been. If there is simple future tense, use the structures of future continuous tense. Models: After modals we use be, base form of be. There are 13 modals in English grammar, and after modals we have to use be to change that sentence into passive voice. After studying these patterns of verb forms, we can say that all simple tenses are changed into continuous tenses. All continuous tenses take being, and all perfect tenses take been, while changing or transforming them into passive structure. How to identify an object in a sentence? This is really very important for us, because if we do not know about the object, in that condition we cannot change or transform a sentence into passive voice. Because the first rule of passive voice says that there should be interchange of subject and object. So it is really very important for us to know about the object. As we know that there should be a transitive verb in a passive voice structure or active voice structure if we want to transform these structures into each other. There should not be a rainbow structure in a sentence. If we have to identify object, so there should not be rainbow structure between subject and object. Means these two things or terms should not represent each other. And second thing, it gives the answer of what or whom. If the word written in a sentence gives the answer of what or whom, it is a object, but it should be after transitive verb in general sentences. Examples. First example is Rahul plays football. Rahul is subject in this sentence, plays is transitive verb, and football is object. So according to first rule, interchange subject and object. In the slot of football we have to put Rahul, and in the slot of Rahul we have to put football. So football plays is yes or yes, so we have to change that into is. So football is, third form of play is played and by Rahul. So the answer is football is played by Rahul. Next, Navya does not write stories. Navya is subject, does not write verb, and stories is object. So stories, we have to put stories in the starting. Stories does not is changed into ismr. Stories is plural, so we have to use are. Stories are not, third form of write is written, and in the end we have to put subject, so by Navya. So the answer is stories are not written by Navya. Stories is plural, that's why we are using here are. Navya is singular, that's why we have used here does. Next sentence, you can do it. You is subject, can do verb, and it is object. So object is put in the slot of subject, so it is written in starting it. Can is modal, after modal we use be plus third form, so it can be done, and subject is written in the end using a preposition, after a preposition, so it can be done by you. That is the answer of this question. She wrote a poem. She subject, wrote verb, and a poem is object. So a poem is written in starting, wrote is second form is changed into was were. A poem is singular, so we have to use was. After third form of write is written, and in the last we have to put the objective case of subject after a preposition, so by her. So the answer is a poem was written by her. Next question. The boys have received the books. The boys is subject. Have received verb. The books object. According to rule, we have to interchange subject and object. So put subject in the starting. The books have plus been. So the books have been, third form, received by the boys. So the answer is the books have been received by the boys. We have interchanged subject and object in this sentence according to rule. My friends did not listen music. My friend's subject did not listen. Verb music is object. Music is written starting because it is object. So music did not listen is simple past tense. Simple past is changed into past continuous. So was according to music. Note plus third form of listen, listened by plus subject. So the answer is music was not listened by my friends. She will return the books. She is subject, will return is verb, the books is object. So the answer must be the books will be returned by her, because the books is object and object is written in starting. After will we use be because that is modal. So the books will be, third form of return is returned, and objective case of subject is her. So that is the answer. My father had invited my friends. My father is subject, had invited is verb, and my friends is object. So put object on the slot of subject. So my friends had is changed into had been, and third form of invite is invited, that is has already been given to us. So the answer is my friends had been invited by my father. My father is subject, put that in the end after a preposition. Next question. The drivers will have returned the supplies. The drivers subject will have returned verb, the supplies object. Subject and object are interchanged as we have discussed. So the supplies will have is changed into will have been, and third form of return is returned. The drivers is subject, so we have to put that in the end using by or after by preposition. So the answer is the supplies will have been returned by the drivers. Next question is, he has eaten food. He is subject, has eaten is verb, and food is object. So put object on the slot of subject. So food is written in starting, has is changed into has been or have been, food is singular, so we have to use has been. So the answer is food has been, third form eaten by him. Objective case of him, he is him. The thief stole the whole amount. The thief is subject, stole is verb, the whole amount is object because it is giving the answer of what. What did thief steal? The answer is the whole amount, and the word which gives the answer of what or whom is object. So the answer would be the whole amount was stolen by the thief. Second form is changed into was, and third form of stole is stolen. That next, the students have not submitted my documents. The students subject, have not submitted verb, my documents object. Object is written in starting, so my documents. Have or has is changed into has or have plus been. Documents is plural, so we have to use here have. After first helping verb we use not, though there are two helping verbs have and been. So the answer would be my documents have not been submitted by the students. Learn all the rules and do exercise given in our books and keep practicing for learning these rules and structures. We'll discuss remaining in next volume. Hi everyone. Today we'll discuss voice volume 2nd. In first volume we have discussed the definition of voice, kinds of voice, and several rules of transforming a sentence from active to passive voice. In this volume we will see some examples or questions which are frequently asked in the examination. There would be different structures which we have to learn to transform sentences from active to passive voice. You are supposed to learn all the structures as it is so that you can get command over voice. Passive voice of going to structures. In sentences we will see subject plus be plus going to plus first form structure, like I am going to play cricket. There is going to plus first form plus object. In such kind of structures, after to we put be plus third form. So the answer would be of such kind of questions going to be plus third form while changing these structures into passive voice. But remember, after ismr or was were we do not have to use being, because we have to make passive of to be, not of going form. For example, I am going to start a new lesson. I subject, I am going to start is verb, a new lesson is object. According to first rule of voice, we have to interchange subject and object. So a new lesson and I are to be changed. A new lesson will be put in the starting. After new lesson is singular, so we have to put is. Going to plus be plus third form, that is the structure. So the answer would be a new lesson is going to be started by me. Objective of I is me. Next question. Komal was going to kill the insects. In this sentence, Komal is subject, was going to kill is verb, and the insects is object. So put object in slot of subject. The insects, we have to change was were into was were. The insects is plural, so we have to use here were. Going to as it is. After to we have to put be plus third form. So the answer would be the insects were going to be killed by Komal. Remember, we do not have to use being after was were or ismr in these kind of structures. Next question. Prem will be going to drive the car. In this sentence, Prem is subject, will be going to drive is verb, and the car is object. So according to first rule, we have to interchange subject and object. The car is object, so we have to put it in the slot of subject. So in starting we have to put the car. After will be going, this structure we have to put as it is. After to we have to use be plus third form. So be driven, the third form of drive is driven. So the answer would be the car will be going to be driven by Prem. So the second and third forms of drive are drove and driven. Next structure of passive voice. Be plus 2 plus first form structure. Here be means is, are, or, was and were. If the structure is in present tense, we use is, are, and if the structure in past, we use was and were. Passive of such kind of structures would be plus 2be plus third form. So remember, after 2 we have to use be plus third form. Here be means is, are, or, was or were. So if there is be plus 2 plus first form, we have to change that into be plus 2be plus third form. It will be clarified in the following examples. First example, I am to read a book. I is subject, am to read is verb, and a book is object. The meaning of this sentence is that the speaker is willing to read the book. So if we have to use such kind of structures, these kind of structures shows willingness of the speaker. A book, we have to put that in starting. A book is singular, so we have to use is. After 2 we have to use be plus third form. So the answer would be a book is to be read by me. Pronunciation of third form of read is read. Next question. They were to listen the songs. There is subject. Were to listen is verb. The songs is object. According to first rule of passive voice, we have to interchange subject and object. So the object is the songs, we have to put that in starting. The songs is plural, so we have to use were plus to be plus third form. The songs were to be listened by them. After by preposition, we have to use objective case of subject, and objective case of they is them. So the answer would be the songs were to be listened by them. Next structure. Passive voice of about to plus first form structures. In such kind of structures, we will see about to plus first form after be verb, and the passive of this kind of structures would be about to be plus third form. So in these three structures, we have seen that after 2 we have to put be plus third form. For example, she is about to finish the painting. She is subject, is about to finish is verb, the painting is object. The meaning of these kind of structures or sentences is that the action which has been initiated by the speaker is going to be finished very shortly. The answer would be the painting is about to be finished by her. Painting is singular, so we have to use here is. After 2 we have to put be plus third form. Next question. We were about to teach the students. We subject, were about to teach is verb, the students object. So the students, that is object, so we have to put that in starting. The students is plural, so we have to use were. About to as it is. After 2 we have to put be plus third form. Be taught, because third form of teach is taught, and objective case of we is us, so we have to put that here. So the answer would be the students were about to be taught by us.